case the title wasn't clear, I hate insomnia. I'm so tired, dude. Well. I apologize if I don't talk too much. I'm really just trying to get this done and over with so I can try to go to bed. Maybe tire myself out enough that, I don't know, anything. I was gonna open my window before I got in. Oh well. zoned out there. Holy fuck. A debuff would be nice, but I could also just then have to deal with it. Go. And then we'll just have on toss on a dragon's breath. Just a little bit extra damage. I mean, alternatively, I could just have my own little turret doing its own little thing. Yeah. Reset, you, and frigate you. We'll hit this for sure. And that. Reduce the damage of severed targets. Let's put on Unraveling. You know what I do need though? I need to make sure that I have on. No, it's this one. Picking up an Orb of Power. Now also we need to fix this fucking look. Okay. Let's actually just stick on Anarchy, it'll do better damage in the long run anyways. What the shit was that, dude? Dude. Okay. I've learned from my mistake. Like, what was I meant to do there? Love to run some onslaught at some point and get a heal clip incandescent or Luna's Howl. That would be great, but I also love my activate buttons fucking work. Oh, there is a sick way to do this. Menu. Most people have builds usually already when they're going into like solo shit. I don't. I just have like and a lot of people just like optimize their builds for various different activities they're doing. I don't. I have the same builds for my common builds, like right? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just a me thing, but one catch-all build that I use all the time rather than one, or I'd rather have like I said, like a catch-all build that is very hyper-specific. Rather than one thing, right? Why would I want to build this that specific, right? If I'm running into contest mode, or if I'm speedrunning is different, right? Speedrunning, speedrunning is, but I don't know. I feel like loadouts are just so. You can use dim loadouts, and I know like that's what a lot of people say. It's like, well, dim loadouts. Yeah, I get that, but. The whole point of using the scorch cannons, but I think they were largely unnecessary for this. Alright, and in 5 minutes I'm back to where I was. See, I'm not worried about this part of the dungeon. I'm worried about the sparrow and... Oh my god, I didn't put on Anarchy. Pretty sure I'm wearing a Descending Echo. Yep, this is from this dungeon actually. Fun fact. I don't really go past this dungeon, past this part of the dungeon. I pretty much farm to Fazira, who that ogre is, so I can do damage tests, and then I stop. Also, that first damage phase was juicy as fuck. I hate this dungeon. This is why this dungeon is terrible. What the fuck am I meant to do there, dude? Oh my god. Get the stupid sparrow shit off of me. The stupid glider shit. Get that fuck out. Get that shit off of me. Nobody likes this dungeon. Dude. Who the fuck gives a shit about this dungeon? This dungeon doesn't even have a good lead. Like, bro. This okay. I'm gonna say something really that's probably gonna get a lot of people riled up. This dungeon is a bad dungeon. There are very few good dungeons in the Destiny 2 video game. This is not one of them. Good dungeons are Spire of the Watcher. I know a lot of people hate that dungeon. Don't care. It is a good dungeon. Spire of the Watcher, I think Duality is a good dungeon. I just don't like it because I'm color deficient. So I have my own personal dislike of that dungeon, but I think it's probably a good dungeon. And Vesper's Host and hesitant to say Warhorse. No, I'm not gonna say Warhorse. And here's why. And you might be like, well, why? Right? Those are the good dungeons. Am I missing any others? I'm sure I'm missing one or two here and there, but I think Sundered Doctrine is another good one. You know, Sundered Doctrine also takes the cake for very good. And now, what I mean by that is, there are not mechanics that instantly kill you if you are not perfect or by luck, right? There are dungeons that you can do if you're a skilled player. Even if you use not the most optimal build or don't know exactly what to do every time, you can still solo flawless it on your first go. And you might be like, well, yeah, but isn't the point not to be able to do that on your first go round? Sure. I first tried Hit a Heresy and Prophecy when I tried to solo flaws them. My point is that Grasp of Avarice. I was gonna shit myself if that killed me. You have all these traps, which are fine. They're annoying, but they're fine. But what you have is, you have that section, which, if you are not perfect, you're dead. Right? That Sparrow section is, if you're not perfect, you die. If you mistime your jump, you die. If you do anything wrong and don't do the exact perfect thing, you die. Vesper's host is not perfect because of the final boss, the lightning strikes. Although I think the rest of it is a pretty perfect dungeon. The reason I freaked out is that spikes. That will insta-kill you. But right, so Vesper has the lightning strikes, but aside from that, on the final boss, in which you can't avoid them, that's one thing I don't like about suppression nades, is that you suppress yourself too. But Spire the Watcher, you don't have anything that instantly kills you. The boss hits like an absolute truck, but it's not like there's anything that, right, if you play smart, you can easily accomplish a solo flawless in Spire. In Prophecy, there's no insta-kill mechanic if you don't get the right thing. You know what? Duality. Duality is another one that I forgot, and I did it literally earlier today. Duality doesn't have a random insta-kill mechanic. I think Duality's mechanics in general are rather pitiful, if I'm being honest. Bro? What the fuck is... Dude, I swear, Bungie has a problem with people streaming their game. If you are streaming Destiny 2 and trying to do something difficult, like a solo flawless or a master content, the odds of you dying to bullshit increase by 50%. But like, you get what I mean? Like the Sparrow part requires you to be precise, perfect. That was crazy. Crazy clutch up. The Ghost of the Deep has random chance that butterflies just one-shot you. Right? Which is why, even though I think Ghost of the Deep is one of the better dungeons, and not just all flawless, but one of the better dungeons, I still think it lacks, it has some missing, some parts that are not great about it. Again, the butterflies and the shields are not great. I can ignore the shields if the butterflies weren't completely random and could insta-kill you, basically, but Prophecy doesn't have this weird insta-kill mechanic half the time where you have to pray that you're not like messing up, and you know, it's just, right, if you die in Prophecy, you die in Prophecy. There is no ifs, ands, ors, or buts about it. Yes, the ceiling can sometimes hit hard, but the ads don't spawn in until well after you have had an adequate amount of chance to heal up. Right, when you're doing the puzzle, the ceiling puzzle, the Tolan puzzle, and the box, the cube is I think the technical term for it. Right? Yeah, no, you mess up in the cube, and you die because the cube rotation. I guess it happens in the final boss too. Yeah, but right, if you die because your rotation gets you to 1 health and then you die, you just don't have enough recovery, and you probably shouldn't be solo boss anyways. Spire the Watcher, while yes, it has a boss that hits really hard and an annoying harpy boss that is an annoying harpy boss, sure. I hear you, I see you, I see your opinions, and they're wrong. It's not hard. It takes just a little bit of time to solo boss. Dungeons that require you to be perfect to solo flawless is stupid. Hell, even tough flawless. I'm not even talking about the fact that you still have to do this, like even not for solo flawless. As a fire team of 3, you have to be perfect in order for you not to wipe there. So if you're doing even a trio flawless or a duo flawless, especially a solo flawless, you have got to be perfect. Which is why it's frustrating. Now, luckily for Grasp, it's not a very long dungeon. Unlucky for Grasp, it's a tedious, annoying dungeon that has one section that you have to be perfect and precise on, and another section that is just long. And then the final boss is just annoying. I will be on Arc, and I will be linear fusions. Like I will just be Queen Breaker with Kira's Thunder Crash, because I am a degenerate and I don't give a fuck. Right, but it just makes it difficult to want to enjoy dungeons like this. And I think a lot of their more recent ones have been better than some of their previous ones, right? I despise some of their older dungeons. Again, it is preference, and I know some people are like Grasp of Avarice, diehard Grasp of Avarice fans who are like, dude, what do you want about Grasp of Avarice? Best dungeon ever. Hard disagree. I actually think Vespers, Ghosts, and oh, I do really like Sundered. But Vespers, Ghosts, and Spire are among the best. I think actually Prophecy is probably the perfect dungeon. Its bosses, its mechanics are just unique enough that it's like kind of difficult to do, right for newer players. It's a great baseline. But like I said, I totally understand the feeling of that like certain dungeons are not as good as other dungeons because those dungeons are harder or right, like I know a lot of people hate Ghosts because it is a significantly harder dungeon. It really is. But I still think it's a better dungeon overall than something like Grasp of Avarice. Now, do I think it's better than something, say, like Spire of Watcher? Not by a long shot. Not even remotely. I think Spire is actually their perfect dungeon. Won't anyone else hear me say that, but they... just such a hard thing to get right. Right, and you think, no, they're not really, they're just like short raids. Right, but that's the thing, is that you can't make them as difficult as raids, right? Contest raids take people weekends to do. And while sure, Center Doctrine took a hell of a long time, it didn't take as long as Salvations. And if you're gonna tell me that Salvation's Edge is easier than you're gonna tell me Salvations is easier than Center Doctrine, you're not just wrong, you are stupid. Your fucking damage, dude. But so the thing about dungeons is that a lot of times, right? And this is where it gets hard. A lot of times people want 2 bosses and 1 non-boss encounter. A lot of things like Warlords. Warlords is actually one of their highest rated dungeons. It's 3 bosses. Alright, sure. Well, it's hard to do 3 bosses all the time, right? You know, can't always have 3 bosses to fight, but sometimes it's good. Sure. Okay. Well, so now we need to come up with a mechanic that's unique for a dungeon. Also, look at ghosts. You gotta crush a specific hive ghost associated with a symbol, and then go dunk it on a correct plate. Okay, well that's fairly intricate, but all right. Less aggro my ass. Okay, so now we do not wipe. Period, the end. That is final. We do not die, we do not wipe, we do not do shit. If I need to go put on fucking Lorelei... Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go put on Lorelei. No. I hate this game. It's official. Bitch, I said... You know what? I'm not doing this tonight. I'm not doing this tonight. I'm too tired for this shit. I really am. It's 4 in the morning and I need to get sleep tonight. So, thank you all so much for